What scares you more? Being trapped in the open ocean or realizing something isn't right in a place that should feel safe? What's going on, everyone? I'm Travis, and this is The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. Today is Friday, March 27th. We're wrapping up the week strong, and today's lineup hits three very different lanes. Big studio survival horror, psychological playground terror, and a genre-bending sci-fi swing from one of horror's most respected directors. Before we close out the week, one more sponsor check. Quick shout out to our partners over at Grove. You can still pre-order The Haunting, dropping May 26 on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray for $32.99. And Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die drops April 21st. Still available for pre-order now. And don't forget, you'll be closing out that March movie madness basically at the buzzer. If you've been waiting and watching deals, this is your last call. Over at Fanatical, last day on the Infinity VR collection. Crimson Desert 15% off. Premier Mystery Bundle still live. World's Edge deals ongoing. Death Stranding 2 on the beach is still 10% off, and you got 4 days left on that Build Your Own Killer Bundle. That spring sale window is closing fast. Tap in through HMU NCUT and support the show. Now, let's dive in to wrap up the week. First up, we're starting big. The full trailer just dropped for Deep Water, the new shark attack film from Rennie Harlin, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He directed Deep Blue Sea, Die Hard 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. So when you hear this movie is blending disaster action with shark horror, that's not marketing, that's literally his lane. The setup, a flight crashes into the Pacific Ocean, and the survivors quickly realize they're not alone. They're surrounded. Sharks, open water, no escape. That's clean, effective survival horror. But what makes this stand out is the tone. It's not trying to be subtle. This is big, theatrical, high-stakes survival. Honestly, we haven't had a truly memorable shark movie in a minute. This hits theaters May 1st. My question for you guys, though, is do you want shark movies to go bigger like this or stay more grounded and tense? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. And Japanese people, please don't come after me for Hot Spring Shark Attack. It was a good time. It was a good time. Next up, this one flips the tone completely. The trailer for Hive just dropped on Tubi. And this is more psychological than it looks at first. The story follows a teenage babysitter who loses a child at a playground, already stressful. But then it gets worse. She starts to realize that something is hiding among the children. It's a wild concept because it takes a space that's supposed to feel safe and turns it into something unpredictable. And the deeper she goes, the more her grip on reality starts to slip. This is the kind of horror where you're not sure what's real, and that's where it gets dangerous. Tubi's been building a real lane with these kind of projects, a low barrier to entry, but high concept ideas. My question for you guys, though, is what hits harder for you? Monsters you can see, or something you're not sure is even there? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. And finally, one of the most interesting projects on the board right now. David Robert Mitchell, the director behind It Follows, is back with a new film, The End of Oak Street. And this is not what you'd expect. We're talking suburban setting, a mysterious cosmic event, a neighborhood ripped out of reality, and somehow dinosaurs. Yeah, that's where we're at. The film stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor and looks like a full-scale genre shift into sci-fi survival with horror elements. But here's why it matters. Mitchell doesn't move unless he has something to say. And after an 8-year gap, this is his return. That alone makes it worth paying attention to. The film drops August 14th in theaters, and he's also working on the It Follows sequel, which we mentioned yesterday, They Follow. So, yep, he's active again. But my question for you guys, though, is do you want more horror directors stepping into sci-fi like this, or staying in their own lane? A lot of lanes today. What lane you choosing? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Today's take. Here's the takeaway for the week. Horror isn't just one thing anymore. It's big budget survival, psychological breakdowns, sci-fi crossovers, all happening at the same time. And depending on what you're into, there's something hitting for you right now. That's a strong place for the genre to exist in. With today's Spotify poll, what type of horror are you picking right now? Survival, creature horror, psychological horror, sci-fi horror, indie, experimental. And don't forget, if you've got a tip, a story, or something we should cover, DM us at HMUNCUT. You might hear it on the show. That's a wrap on this week of The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. We'll be back next week with more. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us some comments. If you're listening, follow the show, answer the trivia, leave us some comments. I'm Travis. You guys know the drill. I'll be back with more headlines on Monday. Until then, keep the lights on.